Chosen one, have you ever felt like death was hovering nearby, threatening to take you away? It might not have been in the physical sense, but there were moments when you felt as though your life was hanging by a thread, whether emotionally, spiritually, or physically. Maybe it was a time of severe illness, a near-death experience, or a season of overwhelming despair where everything felt too heavy to bear. During those moments, you may have thought the end was near, yet here, you are standing strong, untouched by that shadow. Let me tell you something powerful today. What you thought was death, knocking at your door, was merely a divine pause. You see, when death tried to claim you, God stepped in with a force stronger than anything that could have taken you. He made a decision over your life, a decision that would not be overridden. Death tried to take you, but God said no. What the enemy intended to break you with God has used to build a testimony that reflects His power and His faithfulness. You are a living witness that when God speaks, no power, whether in heaven or on earth, can change His will for your life. His protection is over you, and no force, not even death itself, can alter the divine purpose that He has placed within you. Chosen one, there are moments in life when everything seems to change, but nothing seems to be different at first glance. This shift, this transformation begins in the unseen, hidden from the physical realm, yet profoundly felt in the spirit. It's in these moments when God's divine protection takes effect and you are carried through trials you didn't even realize you were being shielded from. The divine shift that is happening in your life right now may not be visible to others, but something eternal has changed. The enemy tried to target you, tried to bring you down, tried to sabotage your progress. But what the enemy failed to recognize was the force of God's protection that has already been activated in your life. The battle was fought on your behalf in the spiritual realm, and God's decision has already been made. You are under divine protection, chosen and marked by God for a purpose that cannot be thwarted by earthly forces. While others may only see the surface of your struggles, the real battle has already been fought and won. The moments of fear, pain, and doubt were part of the process that led to your divine shift. Even when you couldn't see it, God was working behind the scenes, aligning everything in your life with His perfect will. You may not see the immediate signs of change, chosen one, but rest assured that something has shifted within you and around you. God's protection is not a mere reaction to circumstances, it's a proactive and divine force that orchestrates events to keep you on track with your calling. The unseen shift is the adjustment in the spiritual realm, where God is ensuring that nothing will stand in the way of your divine destiny. This shift often feels like a weight has been lifted, like a burden you didn't even know you were carrying has been taken from you. It's in those moments of stillness, when everything else seems chaotic, that you begin to realize that the protection of God is surrounding you. You may have noticed subtle changes where things once seemed difficult, they are now beginning to flow. Doors that once seemed closed are opening. Relationships that once felt strained are being restored. These aren't random occurrences. They are the direct result of God's protection at work. What once seemed impossible now feels attainable. The power of the unseen shift has begun to unlock divine favor and provision, and you will begin to walk in the fullness of the protection that God has already set into motion. As God's protection is activated in your life, the atmosphere around you begins to change. The spiritual realm is always in motion, but there are moments when that motion becomes noticeable. You may have noticed an increased sense of peace in your life, or an overwhelming calmness in situations that would normally cause anxiety. This is a reflection of the divine protection that is surrounding you. The turbulence that once defined your life has been replaced with peace. The doubts and fears that once clouded your judgment are dissipating. You may feel more grounded and centered, as though the weight of the world is no longer on your shoulders. This is the result of God's divine intervention. His protection is making the difference even if it isn't immediately visible. What the enemy meant for your destruction, God is using for your elevation. This spiritual shift in the atmosphere is a sign that God is in control. What once seemed uncertain is now steady, and what once felt fragile is now secure. You are entering a season where the divine protection of God will make everything that once seemed impossible possible. Chosen one, understand that God's decision over your life is not based on chance or circumstance. It is a decision that has been made in the heavenly courts long before you were born. Your name has been written into the divine plans of God. The enemy may try to challenge God's plan, but they have no power to override it. When God says yes to your purpose, no force in heaven or earth can say no. This moment, this shift is not by chance. The divine protection you are experiencing now is the result of God's sovereign will. When the enemy came for you trying to disrupt your progress and harm your future, God already had a plan to protect you. Your name has been marked for a purpose that cannot be taken away. The enemy may have tried to attack you with doubts, fears, and lies, but God's decree stands firm. This is your divine appointment. You were chosen for this time, and God has already secured your future in His hands. Every plan the enemy had for your destruction has been overruled by God's divine protection. His hand is upon your life, and nothing can change that. There are moments in life when we feel vulnerable, when everything seems to be slipping through our fingers. But it is precisely in these moments that divine protection becomes most evident. Chosen one, you have walked through some of the hardest seasons of your life, but it is these very moments where God's protection was most active. During the times when you felt most alone, when you thought all hope was lost, God was with you, shielding you from harm. His protection has been covering you even in your darkest moments. This protection is not just about safety from external threats, but about ensuring that nothing in your life is wasted. Every trial, every hardship you have faced has been part of God's divine plan, and His protection has been working to shape you into the person He called you to be. Now, as you walk forward into your destiny, know that you are walking under the full protection of God. The shift in the spiritual realm has ensured that nothing will stand in your way. You are secure in God's hands, and His protection will continue to guide you and sustain you. As you continue your journey, chosen one, know that God's protection over your life is not temporary. It is a lasting assurance that will carry you through every season of your life. The divine shift that has taken place in the spiritual realm is permanent, and God's protection will remain over you as you walk in His purpose. There will be times when you will face challenges, but remember that these challenges are not meant to break you. They are meant to strengthen you. God's protection doesn't just shield you from harm, it equips you to face adversity with strength and resilience. You will not only survive what comes your way, you will thrive because God's divine favor is upon you. You are walking in the fullness of God's protection, and nothing can change that. The enemy may try to attack, but God's hand is on your life, and His protection will never leave you. Trust in His guidance and step forward with confidence, knowing that you are secure in His care. Chosen one, there is a deep soul-shifting change happening in your life, one that many might not even recognize at first glance. You have come from a place where uncertainty and fear ruled your finances, your career, your relationships, and even your sense of self. It felt as though every step you took forward was met with 2 steps backward, and you were always left questioning whether or not you would ever break free from the cycle of lack and struggle. But today, I want to assure you, the safety you are now walking in is not temporary. What you're experiencing is not just a passing moment of calm, it is divine motion that has shifted your life from a place of instability into a place of divine peace and provision. What once seemed fragile and uncertain is now grounded in God's assurance that you are protected, provided for, and purposefully positioned in His will. The peace you're now experiencing is not just a feeling, it's a reflection of the divine protection that surrounds you. It is a spiritual assurance that nothing and no one can touch what God has placed under his covering. The weight of the fear that once held you captive is lifting, and in its place, there is a sense of security and trust that comes from knowing God's plan is in motion and he is moving all things into place on your behalf. You might have encountered setbacks in the past. It felt as though each time you tried to move forward, you were met with obstacles. There were moments when you wondered if you would ever experience true success or financial freedom. The challenges seemed unending. The road forward was unclear, and the future seemed uncertain. But now, chosen one things are shifting in a way that you cannot deny. Divine protection has ensured that these obstacles are no longer in your path. God has removed the barriers that once hindered your progress, and his protection now guarantees that you will move forward without fear of the same struggles. You are walking in a season where though challenges may arise, they will no longer have the same grip on you. Your progress is divinely secured. What once felt like you were trudging through thick mud is now a smooth, blessed path where divine favor and guidance illuminate the way forward. You are now positioned to make strides in your life, career, and relationships without the heavy burden of doubt or uncertainty weighing you down. Your future is not fragile. God has made it solid, secure, and fully under his protection. In the past, you may have found yourself feeling lost, confused, or uncertain about the direction of your life. You may have been unsure about your career, your financial situation, or even your own sense of purpose. There was a sense of instability that followed you wherever you went. It seemed like you were constantly searching for answers, for clarity, and for a sense of peace that eluded you at every turn. Now, chosen one, everything is changing. You are entering a season where divine clarity is your constant companion. God is illuminating your path, showing you not just the next step, but the bigger picture. Where you once felt like you were walking in the dark, now you see with divine vision. Every decision you make will be guided by God's wisdom, and you will find peace in knowing that you are walking according to his will. What once felt like a fog in your mind is now clearing. You no longer feel lost or uncertain. You feel grounded in the knowledge that God has secured your future. The clarity you are receiving is not based on your own understanding, but on divine insight that comes from God's protection and guidance. The uncertainty that once clouded your vision is gone, replaced by a steady confidence that your steps are ordered by him. For so long, chosen one, you lived in survival mode. It felt like you were merely getting by, scraping through each day, trying to make ends meet. Every decision felt like a struggle, and every step forward was followed by a setback. It was exhausting, and you questioned whether you would ever experience true peace or prosperity. But now this is no longer your reality. You are stepping into a season where you will no longer just survive, you will thrive. God's divine protection has set you on a path of flourishing, and it is time for you to embrace the abundance he has for you. No longer will you be defined by struggle and hardship. You are moving into a season of prosperity, peace, and fulfillment. This shift from survival to thriving is not just about financial security, though that is part of it. It's about your overall well-being. You are being positioned to thrive in every area of your life, your relationships, your health, your career, and your spiritual journey. This is your time to walk in the fullness of God's blessings, to experience the peace and security that come with being fully aligned with his purpose for your life. Chosen one, God's protection is not just about shielding you from harm, it's about ensuring that your destiny is secure. You are living in divine protection, meaning that nothing and no one can derail the purpose God has for you. This protection is not just for your physical safety, but for your future, your calling, and the fulfillment of your divine assignment. The enemy may try to come against you to distract you or to hinder your progress, but God's protection will not allow any of it to succeed. You are not just walking in the favor of God, you are walking in the divine assurance that everything that happens in your life is part of God's perfect plan. His hand is on your life, and His protection surrounds you every step of the way. God's protection is not just about keeping you from harm, it is also about ensuring that nothing can touch what He has ordained for you. Your purpose is secure, your financial blessings are secure, your relationships are secure. All of it is held within God's divine protection. As you move forward, you can rest in the confidence that nothing can thwart God's plan for your life. This is your season of divine protection and provision, chosen one. The path ahead is illuminated, and the doors that once seemed closed are now opening to you. The struggle and confusion you once faced are behind you. You are no longer bound by fear, uncertainty, or instability. You are walking in the fullness of God's protection, and everything is being aligned for your success. The obstacles you faced in the past were not meant to break you. They were meant to strengthen you and prepare you for this moment. You are now equipped with the resilience, wisdom, and spiritual fortitude to thrive in the abundance God has promised you. The days of barely surviving are behind you. This is your time to rise to prosper and to walk in the divine destiny that God has set before you. Step forward, chosen one, knowing that your future is protected, your blessings are secured, and your purpose is unfolding exactly as it was meant to. God has already ordained this moment, and now it's time for you to live in the fullness of His divine protection and provision. Chosen one, there have been moments in your life when you could feel the weight of the world pressing down on you. You may have felt like life was throwing everything it had at you. Doubts, fears, obstacles, and people who didn't understand and your purpose or your journey. The enemy has tried everything to distract you, to get you off track, and to steal your peace. But here's the truth: none of it was by accident, and none of it was meant to destroy you. What the enemy didn't realize is that their plans were never going to work. You are under divine protection, and no matter how hard the enemy tries, God's plan for your life cannot be derailed. It may have felt like the attacks were relentless, like you were being pushed to the edge, but those very attempts at destruction have only served to strengthen your resilience and deepen your faith. The enemy's goal was to disrupt your peace, to make you feel unsettled, anxious, and defeated. But God has used every trial, every moment of uncertainty to refine your character and set you up for the victory that is coming. They may have tried to break you, to get you to question your worth, your calling, and even your faith. But the truth is, they have failed. You are still standing still, moving forward, and that's because God's favor and protection have been over you every step of the way. The enemy often operates with a clear strategy. They want to make you doubt your divine purpose and cause you to focus on the wrong things. The attacks are meant to distract you from what truly matters, your relationship with God and your divine destiny. Yet, chosen one, you've been protected by divine forces that have stood in opposition to the enemy's plans. Even when things seemed dark, when the enemy's voice seemed loudest and most convincing, God's voice was more powerful. God's protection doesn't just shield you from physical harm, it shields your spirit, your purpose, and your peace. When the enemy tried to create confusion or chaos in your life, divine protection ensured that you were never truly shaken. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Isaiah 54:17. The enemy's weapons, whether they be accusations, doubts, or external pressures, have no power over you because of the protection God has placed around you. This divine shield ensures that nothing can take you out of alignment with God's plan. You are covered by His grace, His mercy, and His power. In their attempts to disturb your peace, the enemy used words like slander and manipulation. They sought to tear you down by whispering doubts into your ears, using people to spread rumors, and creating an atmosphere of hostility around you. But here's the good news. Chosen one, their words have no power. The accusations, the The false narratives, the gossip, they have no authority over your life because you are rooted in God's truth. You may have felt hurt, confused, or even betrayed by what people said about you, but those words did not define you. The enemy thought that by attacking your character, they could break your spirit and steal your peace. But in reality, every word they spoke was only solidifying your position in God's plan. The more the enemy tried to discredit you, the more God's truth about you remained unshakable. What they said about you is not who you are. What they tried to label you as is not your identity. You are a child of God, and that truth supersedes any lie the enemy could spread. Your worth is not determined by the opinions of others, but by the love and purpose that God has placed within you. Their words have no power because God's word stands stronger. What the enemy failed to recognize was that their attacks were never going to derail God's plan for your life. From the moment you were born, you were marked by God for a higher purpose. Every attack they launched was met with divine safety. You are protected, chosen one, and no matter what the enemy tries to do, they cannot stop the blessings and the purpose that God has set for you. God has already preordained your safety. When the enemy tries to raise their weapons, God is already one step ahead. He sees their plans before they even try to execute them, and his protection is more powerful than anything the enemy could ever do. The enemy may have thought they were in control, but the truth is God has always been in control of your life, your destiny, and your future. Every challenge you've faced has been part of God's plan to position you for greatness. The enemy cannot touch you unless God allows it, and even then, it is only for a moment. God's purpose for your life is unshakable, and nothing, no enemy, no attack, no weapon can override his plan. You are safe under his protection, and every effort the enemy has made to disturb your peace is being turned into a testimony of God's faithfulness. The enemy's goal was to distract you, but what they didn't realize is that their attack was part of a divine appointment. The trials and struggles you faced weren't meaningless. They were part of the process of shaping you for what's ahead. God allowed the enemy's attacks not to harm you, but to reveal his power and protection in your life. Every difficulty, every setback, and every lie that was spoken over you has been used to strengthen you. God has used these moments to reveal his greatness, his favor, and his unwavering protection. You were never meant to be destroyed by the enemy's attacks. You were meant to rise above them. The divine appointment that God has for you is not contingent upon your circumstances. It is rooted in his plan and his timing. As you've walked through the fire, you've emerged stronger, wiser, and more determined. God used every attack from the enemy to refine you, to teach you, and to prepare you for the next level of your calling. The enemy thought they could break you, but instead, they've only made you stronger and more equipped to fulfill your divine purpose. The enemy's plans are always temporary, but God's victory is eternal. Every time the enemy tried to take you down, God raised you higher. Every time they attacked your peace, God gave you greater strength. Every time they spread lies about you, God used it to establish his truth in your life. This victory is not just a momentary triumph, it's a lasting, eternal victory. You are walking in God's favor, and his hand is upon you, guiding you to your destiny. The enemy thought they could stop you, but they only paved the way for your victory. You are a living testimony to God's protection and power. Chosen one, it's time for you to walk forward with renewed confidence, knowing that the enemy's attacks have only served to elevate you. You are no longer bound by the lies or the rejection that the enemy tried to sow into your life. You are walking in divine authority, protected by the hand of God and destined for greatness. You have already won the battle. The enemy's plans have been thwarted, and God's purpose for your life is unstoppable. As you move forward, trust in the protection that surrounds you. Know that God is with you, guiding you every step of the way, and that no weapon formed against you will prosper. You are covered by His grace, His love, and His favor. Embrace the future with boldness, knowing that the enemy can no longer touch you. You are walking in victory, and no one can stand against the divine plan that God has for your life. Chosen one. After that defining moment, everything began to change. The enemies schemes their efforts to drag you into despair, to steal your peace, and to ultimately destroy your purpose were all attempts that failed. What they didn't understand is that you weren't merely surviving. You became a vessel of divine power, a living testimony of God's protection. What should have been the end of your story marked the beginning of a powerful transformation. You walked through the fire, but the fire did not consume you. You stood in the storm, and it did not shake you. The enemy thought they had struck you down, but in reality, their attack only served to unveil the divine power and resilience that had been hidden within you all along. This resilience wasn't just about your ability to endure, it was a sign that God was with you, carrying you through the darkest moments of your life. Every attack, every hardship, every moment of confusion or fear was used by God to reveal His protection over you. When death attempted to claim you, God stepped in. He paused the very forces that sought to overpower you, and His power became more evident in your life. You became living proof that God's hand is never far from those who are called and chosen. Your strength, chosen one, did not come from your own abilities or your own endurance. It came from the divine force that was working in and through you. You may have felt powerless, overwhelmed, and exhausted, but what you didn't realize at the time was that God was quietly working behind the scenes, infusing you with supernatural resilience. What you were experiencing wasn't just human perseverance, it was the divine hand of God holding you up, strengthening you, and preparing you for the victory that was to come. Your ability to withstand the storm wasn't a coincidence. It was God's power at work in your life. The peace you experienced in the midst of turmoil wasn't a result of your own efforts. It was God's divine intervention. When the enemy tried to knock you down, God held you steady. Every step you took in faith was empowered by the strength of God, and that strength is what carried you through. Now, looking back, you can see that everything that seemed like a setback was part of God's divine plan. Every trial, every moment of struggle, and every bit of suffering was used to build you into the person you are today. You are not the same person you were before the storm. You have been refined, reshaped, and empowered for what God is about to do in your life. While you fought the external battles of rejection, doubt, and fear, there was an internal battle going on that you may not have even realized. God was working in your heart, strengthening you spiritually and emotionally. Every challenge was a chance for you to tap deeper into your faith and trust in God's plan for your life. The enemy had a plan to break you, but God had a plan to build you. What the enemy didn't realize is that every attempt to tear you down was simply a way for God to strengthen you. Each attack, each moment of crisis served to increase your faith, expand your understanding, and prepare you for the greater purpose that awaited you. God was at work even when you couldn't see it. His hand was guiding you, strengthening you, and empowering you to face the challenges that lay ahead. What the enemy meant for your destruction, God was using for your divine transformation. This unseen battle, the battle for your heart and your spirit, was won by God. What the enemy failed to comprehend was the divine protection that God had placed over your life. You were not just going through the motions of life, you were walking in God's divine protection even when you didn't feel it. His protection wasn't just shielding you from harm, it was ensuring that you would fulfill your purpose. Death tried to claim you, but God's protection was too strong. The enemy tried to bring you to your knees, but God's hand was lifting you up. When the storm raged around you, God was your shield, keeping you safe from the forces that sought to destroy you. This divine protection wasn't something you earned. It was God's gift to you, granted because of His love and His purpose for your life. No matter what attacks you face, God's protection never wavered. His favor was upon you, and his hand was guiding you to safety. The moment you were under attack, God's protection took effect, and his power shielded you from the enemy's plans. After that moment, after the enemy tried to destroy you and God intervened, you were forever changed. You are not the same person you were before. The struggles you endured have transformed you into someone who is stronger, wiser, and more aware of God's power in your life. You now walk in a new strength, a strength that comes from knowing that God is with you, that he has your back, and that no weapon formed against you can prosper. You are now equipped to face whatever comes your way. The trials you went through didn't break you, they built you. You now carry a divine resilience that cannot be shaken. The storms that used to seem insurmountable are now opportunities for you to stand firm in faith. You are no longer afraid of the battle. You are prepared to face it head on, knowing that God is with you. This divine resilience is not just for your personal growth, it is part of your divine purpose. You are now walking in the fullness of your calling, empowered by the very challenges that once tried to bring you down. You are stronger, more confident, and more determined than ever to fulfill the purpose God has placed on your life. After that moment of divine intervention, God's favor is now more evident in your life than ever before. The protection that surrounded you, the strength that was built in you, and the resilience that you gained have all led to this moment, a moment where God's favor is shining brightly upon you. His favor will begin to manifest in ways you've never imagined. The doors that were once closed to you will now open. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach will now be within your grasp. You will experience success in areas that you once thought were impossible. God is not only protecting you, he is elevating you, preparing you to walk in the fullness of his divine plan. Chosen one, everything you have endured has prepared you for this moment. The struggles, the battles, the moments of despair, each one has served to shape you into the person God called you to be. You are now walking in divine purpose with divine protection surrounding you. The enemy tried to take you down, but it was through their attack that God revealed his power and protection over your life. You are no longer the person you were before. You have been refined, strengthened, and prepared for the calling that God has placed upon your life. You are walking in victory, chosen one. The battle is over, and the victory is yours. God's hand is upon you, guiding you to fulfill the purpose for which you were created. This is your moment to shine, to walk in divine protection, and to walk boldly in your calling. Chosen one, as you move forward into the fullness of your divine destiny, know this: God's protection over your life extends far beyond your physical safety. It covers your finances, your future, and everything that is connected to your well-being. Financial blessings are one of the key areas in which God's protection will be evident in your life. You are not only being provided for, but God is actively guarding your resources, your investments, and your income. There is a divine shield surrounding your finances, and no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Isaiah 54:17. In times past, you may have felt that your financial security was fragile, that one setback could derail everything you had worked for. You may have feared that you were always one financial crisis away from losing it all. But God's divine protection ensures that your prosperity is safe. What you have worked for, what he has given you, and what you are about to receive will be securely protected under his mighty hand. The financial challenges you faced in the past were not meant to break you. They were part of the refining process. They tested your faith, stretched your trust, and prepared you to handle the abundance that is now coming your way. Now, with God's divine protection, your financial future is set. No external force can touch what God has secured for you. The security you feel now is not based on your own efforts or the economy of this world. It's based on the promise that God has a plan to prosper you. Along with the financial protection God is providing, He is also imparting wisdom to help you steward your resources wisely. Financial provision without wisdom can lead to mismanagement, but with divine wisdom, you will know exactly how to handle the abundance that is being poured out on you. God's protection over your finances doesn't just mean He shields them from harm, it means He is guiding you in how to manage them, grow them, and use them for His glory. Stewardship is not just about keeping your finances safe, it's about investing wisely, using what you've been given to further God's kingdom and being a blessing to others. God is positioning you to be a conduit of His blessings, not just for your own benefit, but for the benefit of those around you. Your financial security is not just for your comfort, it's for your calling. You are called to be a good steward of what God provides, and His protection ensures that you will not mismanage what He has entrusted to you. With God's wisdom guiding your financial decisions, you will know when to save, when to invest, and when to give. He will show you the opportunities He has prepared for you, and He will protect you from the schemes of the enemy who might try to steal your peace or derail your financial prosperity. When you walk in divine wisdom, your finances will not only be secure, they will thrive and multiply according to God's plan. One of the most profound aspects of God's protection over your finances is the freedom from the fear of loss. In the past, fear of financial loss may have consumed you. Perhaps you worried about market crashes, unexpected bills, or the possibility of running out of resources. But now with God's protection, those fears are being replaced by faith. You no longer have to live in constant worry about your finances because you can trust that God has already provided and will continue to provide for you in every season. God's protection guarantees that what you have is secure. Even in times of financial uncertainty, you will experience a peace that surpasses all understanding. You may face challenges or unexpected expenses, but you will not be shaken. The same God who provides for your needs is the same God who will protect the resources He has entrusted to you. He will provide a way, open doors of opportunity, and make sure that you lack nothing. The divine protection over your finances is not just about safety, it's about abundance. God's provision is not just enough to get by. It is more than enough to bless you, your family, and others around you. He is preparing to release abundance into your life that will cover not only your immediate needs, but also your future goals, dreams, and desires. You are entering into a season of overflow where God will provide not just for your needs, but also for your desires. You will experience the fullness of God's provision, and you will be able to live a life of abundance that reflects His glory. The abundance you will receive will not be a result of your own striving, but a result of God's grace, favor, and divine protection. God's abundance is not just about material wealth, it touches every area of your life. Financial blessings will be accompanied by peace in your relationships, prosperity in your health, and favor in your career and calling. This holistic provision is God's way of showing you that He is with you in every area of your life, working all things together for your good. Romans 8:28. As you walk in divine protection and provision, you will begin to see the overflow of God's blessings in every area of your life. The financial provision God is sending your way is not just for you, it's for you to share with others. God has blessed you so that you can be a blessing to those around you. Whether it's through charitable giving, supporting your family, or investing in causes that align with God's kingdom, your financial blessings will overflow into the lives of others. This overflow is a sign that you are walking in alignment with God's purpose for your life. The more you give, the more you will receive, not just financially, but in every area of your life. You are called to be a conduit of His blessings, and as you steward what He gives you wisely, you will continue to see more abundance flow through you. Chosen one, understand that the divine protection over your finances is not temporary. It is a long-term assurance that God will continue to provide for you, protect you, and bless you. His hand of favor will never leave you. Even in seasons of change or uncertainty, God's protection will remain over your finances, ensuring that you lack nothing. You are secure in the knowledge that your financial future is already provided for by God. What you have now is just the beginning. God's plans for your financial future are expansive, and you will continue to walk in divine provision and protection as you follow His guidance. As you continue to live out your purpose, remember that God's protection extends to every area of your life, including your finances. You are no longer bound by the fear of lack or the struggle to survive. You are walking in the fullness of God's blessing, and you will continue to thrive, knowing that your future is secure in His hands. Chosen one, get ready for the unexpected. What God has planned for you is beyond your wildest dreams. The doors that have remained shut for so long are about to swing wide open. These are not the same old doors you've been waiting for. These are divine openings, opportunities that you couldn't have planned, predicted, or even imagined. You have been faithful, enduring seasons of waiting, and now, because of your trust in God, He is about to open doors that will change the course of your life. These opportunities are not just about your success, they are about fulfilling the divine purpose for your life. As you step into these new realms, you'll find that they will align with the kingdom of God, impacting not only your life, but also the lives of those around you. In the past, you may have felt like doors were slammed shut in your face and opportunities seemed out of reach. But chosen one, understand this. Those doors were never meant for you. The doors that God is about to open for you are tailor-made to align with your calling and purpose. They are doors that are divinely orchestrated, ensuring that everything you need is right in front of you. Along with these opportunities come divine connections. God is positioning you not just for success, but for relationships and partnerships that will propel you into greater levels of impact and influence. The people who will be part of this next season of your life may not even be on your radar right now, but God has already prepared them to cross your path. These connections will be strategic, life-changing, and designed to accelerate you into your purpose. You won't have to chase after these relationships. God is bringing the right people to you. These divine connections are part of your provision just as much as the financial blessings that are on their way. God knows exactly who you need to meet and when. These are not accidental relationships. They are part of His perfect timing. You will find that certain people will walk into your life just when you need them, and their presence will change everything. These relationships will be aligned with the kingdom's purposes, and they will open doors for you in ways you could never have orchestrated yourself. With the opening of these doors will come new paths of growth and development. What once felt like stagnation will now feel like progress. These opportunities are not just about moving forward, they are about the growth that will take place as you walk through them. God is preparing to stretch you, to expand your horizons, and to elevate you in ways you never thought possible. You will be challenged in ways that will require you to step out of your comfort zone. But do not fear, for this is part of God's plan for your life. He has already equipped you with everything you need to succeed. The obstacles that seemed insurmountable before will now feel like stepping stones to your success. What God is leading you to is not only meant for your benefit, it is meant to bring glory to His name and to bless others through you. Your growth will be both internal and external. As your circumstances change and you step into these new opportunities, you will experience personal development growth in wisdom, confidence, and understanding. God is leading you on a journey that will develop your character and expand your capacity for greater things. Timing, chosen one, is everything. God's timing is always perfect. He knows when you're ready to walk through the doors. He's opening for you. You may have felt that your breakthrough has been delayed, but in reality, God has been preparing you. The struggles, the waiting, the trials, every moment has been part of the divine timing that is now coming to fruition. These doors were not ready for you before because you weren't yet ready for them. But now the timing is perfect. You are equipped for the opportunities that God is bringing your way. You've grown, you've learned, and you have developed the spiritual maturity to handle the blessings that are about to come into your life. God doesn't just want to bless you, He wants you to be ready to steward those blessings in a way that honors Him. Every delay you faced was part of God's perfect plan to position you for this moment. When He opens these doors, you will be ready to walk through them with confidence, knowing that His timing is always right. There is no need to rush, no need to fear that you have missed your moment. God has set everything in motion, and now it's time for you to step into your future. The opportunities that are coming your way are not just about your hard work or your efforts. They are about God's favor. His favor is what has been working behind the scenes to bring these opportunities to you. It's God's favor that has prepared the way for you, that has opened doors no man can shut, and that has positioned you for success. God's favor isn't limited to one area of your life. It's a holistic blessing that will touch every aspect of who you are. You will experience favor in your relationships, your career, your health, and your finances. The favor that God is pouring out on you will follow you wherever you go, and it will cause things to fall into place in a way that defies natural logic. The favor you're experiencing is not a fleeting moment, it's permanent. As you walk in divine alignment, you will see the favor of God manifest in new ways every day. The people you encounter will sense it. Opportunities will present themselves when you least expect them, and favor will open doors that were previously locked. As these doors begin to open, you will notice a shift in your environment. The places where you once felt overlooked or ignored will now recognize your value. You will be seen not because of your own strength, but because of God's divine favor. People will start to bless you in ways they didn't before, whether it's through opportunities, resources, or acts of kindness. These shifts are a sign that you are walking in alignment with God's will for your life. What once felt like rejection or hardship is now being transformed into favor and abundance. The world will begin to recognize the divine calling on your life, and doors that were previously closed will open to you. God is working in your environment, shifting things around you to make room for the opportunities He has planned for you. What once felt like a battle will now feel like a dance of divine alignment as everything in your life begins to come into place. Chosen one, the doors opening to you are not just opportunities, they are stepping stones to your purpose. As you walk through them, you will step into a life of greater fulfillment, greater impact, and greater provision. What God is leading you to is beyond anything you could have imagined for yourself. The path ahead is full of divine purpose. These opportunities are not just blessings for your own benefit, but they are a part of the bigger picture of God's plan for His kingdom. You are being positioned to impact the lives of others, to be a witness to God's provision, and to walk in the fullness of your calling. Now is the time to walk through the doors God is opening for you, knowing that He has gone before you, preparing the way. You are stepping into the divine favor that will sustain you, guide you, and propel you into your destiny. The doors are open, and the journey ahead is one of abundant provision and divine purpose. Chosen one, there is a powerful spiritual truth that has been placed upon your life, one that is beyond what the human eye can see, but it is infinitely more significant than any earthly mark or label. You have been marked by God for a divine purpose. This mark isn't something that is visible to those around you, but it is one that is deeply imprinted on your soul, woven into the fabric of your being. It's a spiritual seal, a divine calling that makes you different from the world. And this mark ensures that your future is safe and secure under the protection of God Himself. Before you were even born, God marked you with His favor and purpose. This divine mark is the guarantee that no force, no power, no situation can interfere with the destiny God has planned for you. You were created for greatness, and that greatness is protected by God's hand. This mark is not something that can be erased or taken away. It is permanent, and it is a reminder that your life is intricately and purposefully designed by the Creator. Your mark is a sign that you belong to God, and nothing can change that. You are marked for a destiny that will bring glory to His name. This mark doesn't just mean that you're chosen, it means that your life, your future, and your calling are safeguarded by divine protection. The enemy may try to bring obstacles your way, but they cannot remove the mark that has been placed upon you by God. When God marks you for a divine purpose, He not only designates you for greatness, but He also ensures that every aspect of your life is covered by His protection. Chosen one, you are not just living by your own strength or abilities. You are walking in the covering of God's protection, and that protection guarantees that your future is safe. This protection is not passive, it is active. It is a divine safeguard that surrounds you in every area of your life, your family, your health, your finances, your relationships, and your career. No harm or danger can come near you unless God allows it for a divine reason, and even then, His protection will guide you through it. The protection over your life is not just a shield from physical harm. It's also a shield from emotional and spiritual attacks. The enemy may try to send distractions, doubts, and lies to derail you, but because of the mark God has placed upon you, you are immune to those attacks. The protection of God is not just external, it's internal, guarding your heart, your mind, and your spirit from any negative force. The safety you experience in your life is not because of anything you've done, chosen one. It's because of the decision God has made over your life. God's will for your life is unshakable, and the protection He has placed upon you is not temporary. It is eternal. Your future is not fragile, and it will not be easily disturbed by the forces of this world. The divine mark placed upon you ensures that God's will come to pass in your life, no matter the opposition or the challenges you may face. When God has marked you for a purpose, no one and nothing can override that. His plans for you are secure, and His protection ensures that nothing will interrupt or derail your destiny. Even when things seem uncertain, you can trust that God's will is being fulfilled in your life, and His protection is guiding you every step of the way. The safety of your future is not something that is based on the world's standards of security. It is based on God's plan and His promise. He has already secured your future, and nothing that happens in the world can change that. The divine mark placed upon your life guarantees that the steps you take are ordered by God, and that the purpose He has for you will be fulfilled in His perfect timing. This divine mark is not a temporary blessing. It's a permanent seal of favor. When God marks someone for greatness, He seals that blessing with His favor. You carry the favor of God in your life, and this favor will follow you wherever you go. The mark that God has placed on you is a guarantee that you will experience His favor in every area of your life. His favor will open doors that no one can shut, and it will make a way for you even when it seems impossible. The favor of God will bring people into your life who will help you fulfill your purpose. It will provide resources you never expected and position you in places of influence and power, all for His glory. The favor that comes with this divine mark is not just about receiving blessings, it's about being positioned to be a blessing to others. The favor you carry is meant to flow through you, touching the lives of those around you. God's favor on your life will allow you to impact others in ways you never imagined. Your divine mark isn't just a sign of protection, it's a tool for you to fulfill your calling and purpose. Chosen one, the protection God has placed over your life is not just for you, it's for your future generations. The divine mark you carry is a legacy of protection, favor, and purpose that will be passed down to your children and grandchildren. Just as God marked you for a specific purpose, He has marked your descendants as well. His protection over your life is an inheritance that you will pass on to those who come after you. The protection and favor God has given you will impact the legacy you leave behind. Your descendants will benefit from the foundation you have built, and the favor you walk in will be extended to them. This divine mark is not only for your benefit, it is for the generations to come. The blessing that is upon you will flow down through your family, and God's protection will continue to cover them long after you're gone. With the divine mark upon you, chosen one, you no longer need to fear what the future holds. You can walk confidently into the life God has prepared for you, knowing that His protection surrounds you. You are walking in the safety of God's will, and there is nothing that can stand against it. When you face challenges, remember that God's mark is upon you. When the enemy tries to bring doubt or fear, remember that you are protected by the divine hand of God. No matter what comes your way, you are safe in His care. Your future is secure, and you are positioned to live in the fullness of your divine calling. Embrace the mark of favor and protection that God has placed upon you. It is a mark of divine purpose, and it will guide you through every season of your life. You are not alone, and your future is safe in the hands of God. Chosen one, the moment you've been waiting for has arrived. You are now walking in victory, fully assured of God's divine favor, protection, and guidance. For too long, you may have felt uncertain about your path, unsure of where it would lead. You might have questioned whether all the trials, setbacks, and struggles were truly part of a divine plan, or if you were merely enduring hardships with no end in sight. But now everything has changed. The victory you've received is not just a fleeting moment of success. It is a lasting and unshakable reality that you now walk in, rooted in God's assurance. This is not a victory based on your strength, but on the unchanging, all-encompassing power of God's will for your life. You are stepping forward with the confidence that no matter what the future holds, you are fully covered by God's protection and favor. With God's assurance, you no longer have to fear the unknown or doubt your place in His plan. You can now walk confidently into the future that He has prepared for you, knowing that His provision and guidance will never fail you. In the past, you may have found yourself striving endlessly, trying to prove your worth, working tirelessly to secure your future, and always fighting against the tide. The pressure to perform, to succeed, and to meet expectations may have weighed heavily on your heart. You may have found yourself exhausted, constantly chasing after success, never feeling like you could catch your breath. But now, chosen one, God has shifted you from striving to living. The victory you walk in is not about endless effort or performance. It is about trusting God's plan and walking in His assurance, knowing that everything you need is already provided. You are no longer fighting against the current, you are moving in divine alignment with God's will, and that alignment leads to peace, joy, and fulfillment. This shift from striving to living is about resting in God's promises and understanding that your success, your provision, and your future are secure in His hands. You no longer have to work yourself into exhaustion. Instead, you can work with divine purpose, knowing that God is guiding your every step. God's assurance is not a temporary feeling or a passing moment. It is a permanent, unwavering truth that you can stand firm on. His assurance is like a solid foundation beneath your feet, supporting you through every trial, every storm, and every season of uncertainty. When you walk in God's assurance, you are not relying on your own strength or wisdom. You are relying on the knowledge that God is with you, guiding you, and providing for you every step of the way. This assurance is not based on your circumstances or how well things are going in your life. It is rooted in the fact that God has already spoken over your life. He has declared that you are His chosen vessel, that your purpose is secure, and that your future is already protected. The victory you walk in is not about what you have achieved, but about what God has already done for you. His plans for your life are unshakable, and nothing can thwart His will. In times of doubt, when the enemy tries to shake your confidence or cause you to question your place in God's plan, remember this: God's assurance never fails. He has already guaranteed your victory, and His word stands firm forever. Part of the victory you walk in today is the assurance of divine provision. God is not only assuring you of His presence and protection, but also of His provision for every area of your life. Whether it's in your finances, your relationships, or your career, God has already provided what you need to fulfill your purpose. This provision is not just about meeting your basic needs, it's about living in the abundance that God has set aside for you. As you walk in His assurance, you will begin to see doors open that were once closed. Opportunities arise that you never expected, and blessings flow that you could not have planned for yourself. Divine provision will follow you wherever you go, and it will cover every need in your life. You will no longer have to chase after provision or live in fear of lacking. God's provision is constant and it is limitless. As you walk in His assurance, you will find that you have more than enough to fulfill your calling and to bless others along the way. You are walking in divine abundance, and there is nothing that can take that away from you. As you step forward in God's assurance, you are not just walking aimlessly, you are walking with authority. God has given you the authority to live in victory, to speak His truth, and to walk boldly into your future. No longer will you feel the need to shrink back or hide in fear. You have been called to stand tall and proclaim the promises of God over your life. This authority isn't just about having power, it's about using that power to walk in the fullness of your divine calling. You have been given authority to overcome obstacles, to break through barriers, and to walk in the path that God has laid before you. Your authority comes from God, and it is unshakable. In the past, you may have felt powerless, like your efforts were in vain, but now with God's assurance, you know that you have the power to overcome whatever comes your way. Your victory is not a fluke. It's a reality that you are living in right now. You have the authority to live the life God has called you to live, and nothing can stand in your way. Your victory is not just for you, chosen one, it's for those around you. The way you walk in God's assurance, the way you trust His provision, and the way you live in victory will inspire others to do the same. You are not only walking in your own purpose, you are paving the way for others to walk in theirs. As you walk boldly into your future, others will see the divine favor on your life, and they will be encouraged to step into their own calling. Your victory will be a testimony to God's faithfulness and provision. People will look at your life and see that it's not about your own strength. It's about walking in the assurance of God's promises. Your life will become a beacon of hope to others who may be struggling, doubting, or fearful. As you stand firm in your victory, you will show them that they too can walk in God's assurance, knowing that He will provide, protect, and guide them every step of the way. Chosen one, this is your time. You are no longer waiting for your moment to arrive. You are living in your moment. You are walking in the fullness of God's plan for your life, and His assurance surrounds you. No longer do you have to strive or doubt. You can walk forward with boldness, knowing that everything you need to fulfill your divine calling is already provided. This is the season of victory. This is the moment when everything aligns with God's will for your life and you step fully into the life you were created to live. Trust in God's provision, His protection, and His perfect timing. As you walk in His assurance, you will see your victory unfold before your eyes. The road ahead is bright, and the victory you've long awaited is already yours. Walk forward in confidence, knowing that God has gone before you and that your future is secure in His hands. You are living in divine assurance, and nothing can take that away from you. Chosen one, you are now stepping fully into the victory God has prepared for you. The battles you've fought, the trials you've endured, and the doubts you've overcome have all been part of a divine process that has led you to this moment. The victory you now walk in is not just a fleeting triumph, it is a permanent, unshakable reality rooted in God's divine plan for your life. You no longer have to struggle or strive for approval. You are walking in the fullness of God's provision, protection, and favor. Every door that seemed closed is now open, and the opportunities that have been divinely aligned for you will unfold effortlessly. The peace that surpasses all understanding is now your inheritance, and you will walk in confidence, knowing that God's assurance surrounds you in every step you take. Your calling is clear, and with God's hand guiding you, there is nothing that can stand in your way. This is the season where you thrive, where the fullness of your divine purpose is realized. As you walk in the assurance of God's victory, others will be inspired by your testimony. Your victory is just the beginning of greater things to come, and it will bring glory to God's name.